Hey guys, welcome to another Ableton live tutorial. So basically today we're going to be looking at the workflow and how to navigate through Ableton, the program itself. So like not getting into any sound design or anything like that. I've got a couple of videos on that if you want to have a look at them. But today, to get started, this here is like your session view. So this is mainly used for like live performances and things like that. I don't really use this much. Some people like to use it for production and composing, but that doesn't really work for me. What I normally do that in is your arrangement view, which you get to up here. So if you've used the DAW before, this looks probably like a pretty familiar setup. A couple of MIDI tracks, a couple of audio tracks, and your master track. So like here is your prime for recording button, your solo button right here, and on and off. So yeah, if you wanted to record something into that, you just go up to here. So play, stop, record, press record, play whatever on your keyboard, and then you can press spacebar to stop that. So yeah, that's just your MIDI track there. And then you can just press delete to get rid of that. So that's basically the basics of this little part here. Over here is your beats per minute. So I don't know, 124, that's pretty a standard beat. Time signature, you can sort of like temporarily speed up or slow down your BPM. That's kind of usually only used for live stuff though as well. Link, that's a feature in Ableton where like you can have two people on separate computers that have Ableton working on the exact same project at the same time. So it's good for like collaborating and things like that. And yeah, so over here we've got sounds. That's just a whole heap of sounds which come with Ableton. Drum racks, you can just double click them and load them in. That'll load up and then you can play that on your MIDI controller. So like, yeah, like basic stuff, and you can record that in like we did with the MIDI track before. Instruments. So there's quite a few instruments which come with Ableton as stock. They're all pretty good quality. Analog, so that's like an analog synthesizer. Collision, that's kind of like a clangy thing. Drum rack is what we had our drums in, and you can kind of like load all sorts of different samples in there if you wanted to make like a custom drum rack. Electric is an electric piano. External instrument, that's kind of like if you've got your own hardware synths, like so if you wanted to put a Moog synth in or a Prophet, if you're lucky enough to have any of those. Impulse, that's like a drum rack, but you can do a couple of different things with it. Instrument rack, you can stack different instruments over the top of each other, so have them all on the same MIDI track. Operator, I've done I think 2 tutorials on how to use this, because that's probably your main synth that you'd be using in Ableton. Sampler, that just samples different sounds. Simpler basically does the same thing, except it's, I don't know, simpler to use. Tension, that's just like another plucky synth thing. Yeah, plucky. Audio effects, there's heaps on here, so I won't go through all of them, but like if you wanted to load them into your track, just drag and drop. And there you go. So that tension's got a reverb now. Yeah. So that's basically how to load an effect in. MIDI effects, you can also have MIDI effects on your tracks. So say if I wanted to put an arpeggiator, I'd just drag and drop before the instrument itself here, and then I'll just do that. I was just holding down 3 keys then. Max for Live, that's like if you wanted to build your own synth from scratch on the back end, so that gets really complicated. So we won't worry too much about that. Plugins, if you've got plugins, that's where they'll be. And yeah, like you can just load them in from here. Just like same as you'd load in a normal instrument or an effect. Clips, that's just a whole heap of different sounds. Same with samples. Packs, that's like stuff which comes with Ableton or some that you've downloaded. User library, that's where all of your library is, so samples and things like that if you wanted to navigate. I got quite a few from Cymatics because they just put out a heap of free packs. Go check them out. Good quality samples. So, and current project, that's like where all of your stuff for that specific project that you're working on will be, where all the files are stored. So if you're wondering also how to automate the instruments in this, so like we'll just maybe bring up an operator. So like instruments, go double click on operator. So now we've got an operator. So here, just for demonstration, I'll play with the frequency. So like we'll put that all the way down, and then if you wanted to change that up here, like you'd press B to draw it in, and then something like that. And then if we go back here and play a couple of keys, like a chord, and then just play it, you'll see what I mean. So see how it's sort of swooped up. And yeah, you can do that with pretty much any setting through here. So yeah, pretty simple to do. But anyway, that's like your basic workflow through Ableton. Yeah, eventually I'll be putting up a couple more videos on like operator, how to make a track. Even though operator's like a stock synth which comes with Ableton, it's really good. Like I pretty much produced a whole album mainly using that and a couple of free plugins I found online. So yeah, give it a go and see what you think anyway, and just feel free to experiment with all the different instruments, all the different effects. There's heaps here, and they're all really good quality as well. So yeah, that's pretty much Ableton, the workflow, what you're dealing with. So feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And thanks heaps for watching, guys. We'll catch you next time. Thanks, guys. Bye.